What's up, everybody? This is Ben with another crypto update. This is going to be a little longer video for YouTube just so we can take a little more time. I don't have to talk so fast because Twitter limits us to 2 minutes and 20 seconds on videos, if you ever wondered that. So here's our friend H-Bar, our journey. I mean, I just feel like this has been a journey. If you've been involved since, early on, like I have, and probably a lot of you have, it's just been this journey to get to where we are. And, the whole purpose of all these moves is just to create new floors, new buy zones instead of sell zones. This was a sell zone forever. People sold it off and now we came through. But guess what? We were able to push through, and then we came back into this area, and guess what? People bought it instead of sold it. So then this became the new floor. It became a buyer zone instead of a seller zone. So here we are with a seller zone once again on H-Bar. I just talked about this on the Quickie on Twitter, but it's very obvious selling zone here, and it has been since March when we first touched it. Every time we've tapped it, it's been a seller area. Even when we blew through it here for a couple of days, we did exactly what we were supposed to do and come back down to recheck it. And we got to this area, and then that decision was made as to whether this was going to be the new buyer zone or whether it was going to be the new seller zone, or the same seller zone, and it chose to be the same seller zone. And sellers sold off, and we have not been able to break through this for the past 6 weeks now. We've had multiple attempts, but it is still a seller zone, obviously. Even today, we got up into here. Guess what? Towards the end of the day, sell it right off. Look at that thing where it came back down and closed. Right at it, man. But this candle's pushing up again, so we're going to see. It's very basic stuff, but, the way you do it is we got to break up through here and come back down. And when we hit this area, we've got to have a bunch of buyers there now that push us up. That creates this new area here as a buyer's area instead of a seller's area. And until we do that, H-Bar is not going to be able to make a big move up. I believe that it will make a big move up, and this is what I'm waiting on, to break this zone and to recheck it and say this is our new floor now, so that when we get up into the 50s, people are begging us. They're begging for this price to come down into the mid 40s, and that just creates this big new buy zone instead of a sell zone. So that's what I'm waiting for on H-Bar. It's going to take more volume than what we're getting. Volume was up today versus yesterday and the last few days, which is good. We're still riding up this 9 here. That's helping us. And we're peeking through this downward resistance or downward, trend line on our wedge here. So things are looking good. And it was, exciting today to get into here. I didn't go crazy and say we're going on a moon mission. I just said, hey, we're peeking into here again. Let's see what happens. But it was a seller still. So pretty basic. But we got to turn this into a buyer zone. That's my H-Bar spiel. We're flat. I mean, RSI is flat. MACD is flat. So it's just kind of sitting and waiting. I think it's really coiling up and springing up nicely. I love this slow grind here. I think it creates more power behind it when we finally push through. So we can get a big push through here and reclaim this and say this is our new buy zone from here on out. So that's what I'm waiting for on H-Bar. I jumped into a couple other coins. CRV is just, you might think that this looks crazy, but it's actually a really nice setup. I mean, it's so obvious here. And then this absolute perfect recheck here on the daily chart. So resistance, bust through, buy, boom. That's what you do. That's what I'm talking about, and flipping a zone from a selling zone to a buying zone. That's what happened here. And obviously we got to blow off top or whatever. So this thing's probably going to flag out. We're waiting for the 9 to catch up. And then when that hits, we want to see our next move up, and then, our next flag out until the 9 catches up. So that's what I'm watching on CRV. volume. We can't even tell right now on the daily. If you go to like 4 hours or whatever, you can see we've had some big volume pushes. This all looks fine to me because I usually just watch the daily. So algo is a great example. Not that one. I want to go to my other chart. Is a great example of flipping these areas from sell zones to buy zones. I mean, this is the most perfect example. It's obviously a sell zone, right? Hit it here, hit it here, here it. I mean, just selling off every single time. Finally getting the big push through. Everybody freaking out when it comes back down for some reason. It's got to come back down and hit this area, and a decision that has to be made as to whether this is still going to be a seller zone or it's going to be an actual buyer zone. And algo here has changed this into a buyer zone now. It is, I believe it has officially changed it to a buyer zone. We've hit it multiple times, and people have bought in here instead of sold, which is why this price is going up. And on the daily, we had a really nice candle here. We're going to kind of flag out here, wait for these MAs to catch up, hopefully, and then make our next move up. I really like algo. I've said it before many times. If you look at the weekly chart, it looks even better. You just can't get much better than this. I mean, obvious sell zone. Look, even down here, obvious sell zone, right? We hit it, sell off, hit it again, sell off, bust through. Everyone's happy. Rechecks. Everyone freaks out. But guess what? Now it's a buy zone. It becomes the new floor. And look at this. Perfect floor, right? Every time it hits it, people are buying now here instead of selling, and it doesn't fall through. So that's our new floor. Then we have a big push up. Everybody's happy. Then we have a recheck. Everybody freaks out. But all it's doing is turning this sell zone, our new sell zone, into a new buy zone. So it's not that, difficult to kind of find these levels and, watch how they react and whether or not when they hit these levels, if people continue to sell them or if they become new buy zones. And when they do, you can usually expect them to push up like all these other ones have done, and then a recheck down, push up and a recheck down, a push up and a recheck down, push up and then a recheck down, creating a new floor for buyers instead of sellers. I believe algo is going to do that. This chart looks really, really good to me. Like I said, when this becomes the new floor instead of a seller zone, then we just have open space above for algo. So I am a fan of algo. There's a lot of coins that are kind of in this same area. If you look at even like Doge, I know some people don't like Doge, but whatever. This is setting up so nicely. It's just a really good example of hitting these highs and lows on this wedge, breaking through, and then rechecking this wedge, getting ready to trying to push up here. So it is, once again, this sell zone that's been here for a long time, turning it into a buy zone instead. So it's in the same boat. One is just on a mission, which I love. It has come out in full force, created this, we've known about this huge cup and handle, and this level, this dotted line, has always been a sell zone, right? We hit it here, it sold off. We hit it here, it sold off. We hit it here, we came through, we rechecked, a decision was made that this is no longer a sell zone, it is now the buy zone, and then this is the result. So that's what's happening on all these charts. And so now we're pushing up, and guess what? This is going to check up as well. This is going to flag out. They always do at some point, and maybe a few days from now. But this is going to flag out. It's going to come down to the 9, and what we're going to do is create a new zone, a new floor. That's all we're doing on all these charts, on all these coins. It's all a bull market is we move up, and we move down. We move up and we move down. And the up moves are just a little bit bigger than the down moves. And so some people think bull market and they think we're just going to go nuts. And we do talk about this crazy alt season, and it does happen at times where there'll be a couple weeks where things just go absolutely nuts and all the rules go out the window. And that happened in 2017, end of 2017. and it could happen again. But for now, I love this grind up. I love these. I'm a big recheck person, so I love these moves up and then a recheck. I'm not freaking out. I'm not selling. I'm just liking the structure of things. VTHO, look at this, same thing, right? It's big diagonal down. It's just starting to push through. This dotted line is an obvious sell zone. Sell zone is trying to come up into here and create a new floor. The thing about VTHO is that it runs with VET, so or VET, whatever you want to call it, and it has pushed up as well. The thing I'm watching on this is the rate. People ask me. That's why I'm talking about this. I'm betting on the ratio between these two. It's always been like 10 to 1, and right now VET or VET is the ratio is off. You know, we're a lot worse than 10 to 1. If it was 10 to 1, then VTHO here would be, 1.4 cents right now, and so that would put us like up into this world. Oops, one of those chart. It put us up into here. Oh no, it put us up into here. Sorry. So I'm kind of watching this lagging VTHO stuff with VET, and I expect it to kind of catch up. It's usually like 10 to 1 between the two, and so VTHO is behind, and I expect that to catch up. Let's see, any other coins? CRB, same thing. People think this looks crazy, but I think I already talked about this. I can't even remember. This video is getting too long. But sell zone, flipped it, checked it. Now it's a buy zone. Pretty simple stuff. Don't forget, Bitcoin makes the rules here, unfortunately, on all this stuff, but it's looking pretty good still. Not worried about it. Anyway, that's all I got for you. I rambled a little bit on this video, but it's all about the sellers and buyers. You got to find those zones. You got to turn the selling zones into buying zones, and when that happens, that creates that structure and move up. So you can look for that on any coin that you have. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments, and I will answer them if I can, and try to be a help. So that's all I got for you. Till next time, peace out.